moms, this is Priya from MomsPumpHere, hashtag the pink life, and I am so excited to be here today with Assemblywoman Solage.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Today I wanted to talk to you about some really important topics regarding moms. And first of all, she is a fabulous politician here in Long Island.
Thank you.
You represent the 22nd District.
Yes, the 22nd Assembly District, which comprises of Valley Stream, Elmont, Franklin Square, Floral Park, North Woodmere, and Belrose and Belrose Terrace.
Wow.
A lot of communities,
That
a
is.
lot of individuals, but I really like to represent our moms, because I am a mom myself.
Well, you're on a roll.
Yes.
I was on your page and I saw all this legislation, and I know you came from a big event today that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
But you've been on a roll doing all these amazing things for moms, and I thought it was so important that we got her on camera, got that beautiful face on camera, to talk about these important topics.
They're essential topics. I always say women's rights are everyone's rights.
Everybody's rights. And women run the household.
We are the
bread makers. It only makes
makers.
sense, right?
Exactly.
Get with it, people.
Yes.
And even though you are an Assemblywoman in New York, I do want to say that what you're working on reflects on all women that we represent here in the United States and the other countries that MomsPumpHere serves, because they have to know that there are options for women, and if it's not provided in where they are, they can go talk to their local politicians about it.
It's all about raising your voice. Many people don't even know their elected officials' names. So I implore everyone to find out who represents them on every level, state, local, federal government, and become involved, because many of these issues, they seem like common sense, but they're still not passed.
And that's crazy to me.
Yes.
You know, even with nursing rooms, and we talked about this before, like a lot of people don't know that a bathroom is not a nursing room. So it's all about education and bringing awareness to the public. And
exactly. I have a piece of legislation, lactation accommodation for airports. I hear time and time again mothers who go and try to pump or try to breastfeed in airports, and let's say accommodations are substandard.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that every major airport in New York State has appropriate accommodations for mothers.
Yeah, and I definitely love what you're doing there, because, okay, so one of the big things, one of my pet peeves is airports that lie.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is holding them accountable. Now, is this legislation just for New York, or is it for
So there's
actually
a senator who has a federal piece of legislation.
Yeah.
And I modeled that piece in New York State.
Is that the senator in Chicago?
Yes,
Okay.
Duckworth.
Yes, Duckworth. Yes. That's awesome.
So we took her legislation and we adapted to New York State, and so we're setting a standard for nursing rooms in New York State.
Wow. So how has the response been so far?
It's been great. I've had many colleagues sign on to that legislation, and many of the other legislation I have for working mothers. So there's support, and so we're glad to get it done.
What about other representatives and assembly people in New York State? Are they backing the bill, or are they?
Well, they better not be opposed to it.
Any opposition?
Well, if there is, they're going to have a mad mob.
Give them the side eye.
Exactly.
Like, what's wrong with you? So I met Assemblywoman Solage at an event last week, and it was for the first milk depot in New York State?
Or in Long Island.
Long Island.
Yeah.
But I think New York in general, the metropolitan area, right?
In New York, we don't have a milk bank, and we don't have many milk depots. And so in Long Island, we opened up our first milk depot, and we have about 5 throughout the state. So they're not many. And so these milk depots is a place where mothers could go and donate their extra breast milk, or even if they don't, they donate their breast milk, and help preemies and ill infants all throughout the state.
And I know you have legislation for that too, right?
Yeah, because currently they do charge for the breast milk if you are a parent in need.
Really?
It's $4.50 an ounce for breast milk on average. And so in New York State,
That's
we don't have...
That's a lot of money.
And imagine how much breast milk you need for months on end. What we're doing with this legislation is we're giving access to not only mothers in need, but also low-income families who want...
I can imagine if there's a mom that's on a limited budget, she can't afford $4 an ounce.
That's more than a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So, they call it liquid gold for a reason. So basically my legislation would cover the price of breast milk for mothers. And we're also lobbying insurance companies to cover the breast milk.
And how's that? Have you talked to any so far?
Yeah, we talked to a few, and they're interested. They're looking for the state of New York to put their foot forward and actually implement this Medicaid reimbursement for breast milk.
Oh, wow. Before they
before
they
go.
back it.
Yeah.
That's interesting how that dynamic works, because they could have taken the first step too, right? Like insurance companies could be like, this is something we should really consider.
So right now, currently in New York State, since we don't have a breast milk bank, we import breast milk from other countries. I'm sorry, for other states.
So Ohio's right next door.
Ohio, Massachusetts, we get our breast milk from essentially other people from other states. And even if we donate, we have to transfer it out of New York State, get it processed, pasteurized, and then bring it back.
Wow.
Yes, it's pretty it's pretty interesting that we don't have it here in New York State, and that's because after the AIDS epidemic, many of them closed down, and we never since then. That was in the 90s.
So we used to have them.
We used to have them, back in the 90s, but that's.
And I'm sure a lot of people don't know that either.
Not a lot of people don't know it either, and so other states after the AIDS epidemic rebuilt back their breast milk banks, but we didn't do that here in New York State. But I'm glad we have a new movement that's doing that, and opening up the milk depot just the other day was our first step in getting it done.
Wow. So what's going to happen next after this? You made the first step, you launched a depot, you have this legislation in place. What is the next step? How do we get the education out there? How do we rally people around this important subject?
Well, this YouTube video is definitely helping us out, and also just educating people on the topic, making them know that they can donate their breast milk, and there's places locally in which they could do it, and we have a breast milk bank here in New York State that we need to support. So financially, if you have some extra dollars in your pocket, donate to the New York Breast Milk Bank. If you want to donate your breast milk, donate it. We all need to help each other out, unified as one, to get it done.
Okay. And we'll definitely provide the information. I'll create a blog around this video, and we'll put the information in there so they can contact both your office and the depot.
Exactly.
The New York depot, correct?
Exactly.
Right? Oh my God, so this is awesome. I'm so excited that this is happening.
It's a long time coming, and I have like stacks of breast milk in my refrigerator.
Yes, so she has an 8-month-old baby.
Yes, Nicholas. He's 8 months.
How are you juggling it all? Because she came from an interview before this. So.
I know. Well,
how are you doing it?
As women, we get things done.
Yeah.
We don't complain. The whole world could be falling apart, but we get things done.
We hustle and make it happen.
Exactly, and so that's what I do. I realize that in New York State, there are people who don't have as much opportunity as me, and so I want to make sure that I uplift all New Yorkers, especially our working mothers and our pumping mothers. Yeah, which is difficult nowadays.
Exactly, I completely agree with you.
Yes.
Now, talking about that, working mothers, paid leave. Now, tell me about the event you went to today.
So just before, me and several other elected officials all throughout Long Island came together, and we had a press conference saying that we need paid family leave this session. We want 12 weeks of job-protected security so that we can take care of our loved ones, not only for a baby, but also to take care of a sick family member. Yeah. And we need the financial backing as well. We can't do, right now the current law is family medical leave, and it's 6 weeks of unpaid leave. Yeah. Which
I did that with my kids, yeah.
And you had
thank God my husband was able to support me,
But some people don't even have that opportunity. Yeah. And so, we're grateful for what we have, but we always have to give back. So we're pushing for 12 weeks of paid leave.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And how far has it gotten so far? Like how?
So we actually had the Governor Andrew M. Cuomo, support our proposal
today.
Before today and before he put it in the New York State budget, and he also is backing it. He talked about his personal experience of when his father was ill, how he kept working, and how he should have spent more time with his father. Yeah. And so
our last YouTube video, my business partner Kim. My co-host Kim spoke about that as well. So that's awesome.
And it's a situation that every New Yorker gets into. Every single person either has a child and wants to bond with their child, or wants to get ready for breastfeeding and have that 12 weeks to kind of build up their milk supply. Yeah. Or they want to take care of a sick loved one. They want to be by their bedside, and so we should give the opportunity to do that. If you look at America, we're like one of the only developed countries who doesn't have paid leave.
And I always think it's all about capitalism. Yeah. We have to keep the wheels turning to make money, and then all these other things get pushed aside because we're so in the machine and having it go that way.
And what's funny is that this proposal of paid leave, it comes out of the temporary disability fund, so it's no cost to the employer. So, it's time for us to get it done. It's time to support families and support our workers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for working. High five.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you have in the woodworks for moms, or this is just right now your powerhouse? This is what you're focused on.
I have a couple of other bills for working mothers and for fathers as well. I'm also working on another piece of legislation to have changing tables in both the male and female bathrooms.
That's awesome.
And require that by law. Because my husband's always wanted to change the baby, and then he walks into the men's bathroom and there's no changing table.
Oh.
So it's not fair. We have to recognize the working man, the working mother,
Absolutely.
and working fathers.
Absolutely.
So, changing tables in every bathroom.
It'd be kind of cool to add that to our app.
Yes, that's true, yes.
Dad changing tables.
Yes.
That would make so much sense. So dads know where to go, and they can also use the app.
Exactly.
And now that I think about it, nursing rooms should be available to men as well.
Exactly.
Not just moms.
And that's why it's so important that we have appropriate accommodations and not let it be in the bathroom. I think it's so degrading to have a nursing room in the bathroom.
It should not be in a bathroom. If you're not going to eat in a bathroom, if you're not going to prepare a meal in a bathroom, why should that mom or dad do that?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And so it should be a separate accommodation. Should have nice chairs and then maybe a privacy screen need be, and that's all in the bill. So I have a lot of good legislation for working mothers, but definitely paid family leave and reimbursement for breast milk is something that I hold in my heart and I'm pushing this year.
And of course, it's a personal thing for you because of your baby.
Exactly. It was very hard to begin to breastfeed. I remember those couple of first weeks where I was thinking about just giving up. Everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
They say, oh, the baby doesn't latch, or they have a parent saying, oh, hey, look, I have formula.
Yeah.
Especially in Caribbean countries,
well, when you're in the hospital, you get the formula right away in those bags.
Exactly. So it's so important that we support each other and have a support system there, and making sure that lactation consultants are available to both mothers and fathers to help build a support system.
Yep, absolutely. And then we also be very sensitive to moms who are not able to breastfeed.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people push for breastfeeding, and we want them to breastfeed if they can, but then you have a situation where you're not producing any milk, or something might happen and you can't breastfeed your child. You have to use a bottle. You might even have to use formula. So we need to be supportive of one another no matter what.
Exactly, and it's all about mothers having that connection.
There's no mom war. We rule the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
we rule the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cities have fallen at our feet like.
It's so true.
It only makes sense,
men,
right?
watch out, okay?
Watch out. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today. I'm so excited to share this video with other moms and all your important work. Do you have any advice you would like to give to moms before we close?
Well, government is here to help, and if anyone has any suggestion on legislation, things that we should fund in the budget, or just constituent stuff, things that happen in your community, please feel free to reach out to my office. 516-599-2972. I'm here to help. I really want to be supportive to working mothers and fathers as well, working individuals, and just make sure that in New York State we're uplifting families.
Yeah, I love that. And of course, you can find her on social media.
Yes, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and my favorite now, Snapchat.
I gotta get a Snapchat. Thank you, moms, and we'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and Snapchat very soon. Thank you. Bye. If you like this video, click here to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you would like to download the MomsPumpHere Nursing Locator app, click up here.